Nation. I'm Jessie CHAHAL. Joining us today is a National Journalism Laureate and Chairman of BERNAMA, Datuk Wong a veteran journalist trusted by leaders across Malaysia. He has spent decades observing the Malay rulers up close, including the Sultan of Selangor himself. And today, as the state celebrates the 80th birthday of the Selangor Sultan, we're honoured to have Datuk Wong help us understand the man behind the throne. Datuk, thank you for being with us and thank you for being here. I know that in real time you've actually rushed to come to our studios after observing the Sultan's birthday as well. And he's a man that you have known for more than a decade. We want to know all that, inside scoop and more. But let's begin with how viewers view royalty in terms of, we see them in formal settings, but rarely do we see the human side behind the institution. Yeah. Now, you've interacted with the Sultan of Selangor beyond official events. You see him on a regular basis as well. What's one personal moment, if could take you down memory lane with His Royal Highness, that has changed the way you see and understand royalty, but also in particular his leadership?
Thank you very much. It's a very good question. I've had the privilege and honor of knowing His Royal Highness, the Sultan of Selangor, for the past 20 years. And I've got this privilege of having the chance to interview him in every year before his birthday celebrations. So we have developed a form of understanding. And what strikes me the most in all these past 2 decades is his consistency. He is a man who dispenses formality. He does not believe in going to some place or with an entourage. Okay? There's no need for him to have this false sense of importance like some politicians who need pegawai khas to follow them, okay?
Or a huge entourage.
No, he doesn't believe, he doesn't like this attention, in fact. So he likes to move along alone, and he many times that he will say don't put this red carpet thing for me. Okay, he will say that, which includes a function involving BERNAMA. He says no red carpet, please. And he is a very simple person. For me, he's very direct. He engaged in simple conversation. He dispenses formality, and he makes you feel very at home. And I can tell you, he is what you see is what you get. Okay, in the sense that in my 20 years of conversation with him, he has always felt the need to understand the rakyat and to try to understand, to make life easy for the rakyat. Let me share with you. This was an interview that I did in 2011, okay, when he was 66 years old, and that he was celebrating his 10th year as the Sultan of Selangor. And in one of the interviews that we did, he said that his wish is to see that my rakyat living in harmony and have a better quality of life. He has always emphasized the need for the people of Selangor, of various religion and culture and races, to live in harmony. Consistency in every interview.
So from 10 years ago up till now,
more than that, because
his message is
yes,
the same.
This was the when he was 10th year as the ruler, state ruler. I couldn't find the other interviews that I've done earlier. Okay, but he says that I quote: "There's no point in Selangor becoming a developed state, but people cannot live comfortably. I cannot neglect my duty to the rakyat." And that's the promise he made to his late father and the state. The day I cannot fulfill this duty will be the day I step down. When I heard this line, this punchline, it's been on my head forever.
Absolutely. So as you mentioned it as well, a message from a decade or a quote from a decade earlier, it resonates today because it's powerful. And I would just want to go to some of the headlines that we're seeing across some local dailies as well. The nation comes first, says the Selangor ruler. He also emphasizes that state rights do not go overboard with that, because at the center of it all is that rakyat are the Malaysian people. Yes. What does this say about him as a leader? He's not one to as you've mentioned about protocol and entourage as much, because his leadership style, perhaps you could describe that in one sentence, having so much face time with him as well. He has always prioritized the people.
Yes.
And he's always prioritized the well-being of the rakyat.
It's always people first, simple, people first. I have had the privilege of knowing different rulers. Of course, I mean that some rulers are very high profile, some chose to remain much more on the quiet side. But Selangor is different in a sense that because the Sultan of Selangor would have to be different in a sense that because we live in the most important state in Malaysia. This is a very diverse state. Some states are very mono-ethnic, but Selangor is really different. This is the jewel in the crown, the most important state.
I like that, the jewel and the crown.
Yeah, so it's really important. So the attention is on him. That's why he has got to take his responsibility really seriously. You look at the political equation in Selangor, it's also quite strong in the sense that the government and the opposition are quite equal in a sense.
It's a balance.
Yeah, so he's got even a greater role to play.
Right.
Now, he takes his role very seriously because that this is probably one ruler that I know who actually looked through the complaint letters and emails.
He reads his mail?
He reads it.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't even think that our YBs do that every day, okay? He takes it and read it. So there was one particular case where I have interviewed him and he shared on record. He says that one day I received a letter from a lady. She was going through her divorce. And the divorce case has been dragging on for 7 years in the Sharia court. And she says that she wrote in the letter, she says that, look, this is hindering my chances of remarrying. The Tuanku was very touched by this letter. And of course, he pushed the buttons for the case to be speed up. So simple things like that. And even of late in Selangor, he has been getting piles of letters and emails complaining about the lack of cleanliness in Selangor.
Which is an issue he brought up as well.
Yes.
When you had your one-on-one interview with him recently.
Yeah, he showed me the letters and the emails which he has printed up to show me that, look, he says that people are complaining. What are the councils doing? People pay their taxes, okay? And we are in Selangor. The most developed state cannot be the most dirtiest state. So he was really upset. So in that interview, he spoke passionately about this particular subject.
Which brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Is the Sultan someone who is vocal to voice out his opinion as you've just shared, or is he using silence as perhaps a power or a tool? Because not all leaders lead by speaking loudly.
Yeah.
Some lead by staying silent or not making comments very often. Again, in your observation, does the Sultan of Selangor lead by statements more or by presence?
Okay, one, we must bear in mind, like all rulers, they are constitutional rulers. They are not politicians. So they do not get involved in the day-to-day running of the government. And of course, like all rulers, they are very conscious of their role. They know that, look, this is the limit, and I will not cross. But as the constitutional ruler, they also have their influence and the power and the responsibilities. So they play a lot of roles. Like, for example, of course, like if the Prime Minister, Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim, has got to brief the King before the cabinet meeting, all the other Menteri Besar also does that. So this is where they are able to bring up certain topics which they think which they feel very strongly, and they feel that the Menteri Besar got to act on. So they have the access which the rakyat do not have, but they do not make any statement. The Sultan of Selangor, he only makes certain statements when he feels very strongly about it, occasionally. And of course, his yearly interview with the media before his birthday celebration.
Well, now that I have you here, what do you think is the misconception or people's perhaps, not aligned view of the reasoning or the presence of royalty, as particularly if we have today in focus, the state of Selangor? Are there any misconceptions that you'd like to set the record straight for someone who has a lot of interaction with the Sultan? One
is that the rakyat, because they do not have that kind of access to the rulers, their perception is formed by what they see in the media and what they see of what they're like. most often they're in their ceremonial clothes, right? And then people do not know how to approach them. What should I do, you know? And that what should I wear? Okay, and how do I dress how do I dress? Like for example, in Selangor, you have to sembah, menghadap sembah, but in Johor, you don't sembah, you just bow. So there's different kind of protocol.
Right.
But generally, depending on which particular ruler, so in this case, I will just talk about the Selangor, okay, which I have a better access. I will say that he's just like any other normal person, okay, just like you and me. Preference for certain food and that what they like. But generally, that for me, what strikes me the most for the Sultan of Selangor is this. And also in many cases, even the other rulers. Sometimes I know sometimes people ask whether there's relevance, okay, and a need for the royal rulers, the royal Malay rulers, okay, at this time of age,
right?
Because this is a very feudalistic system. They expect long time, okay. But for me, I realized that after interacting with them, I find that really even for non-Muslims, it's really very important. Let's talk about religious issue, okay? The religious issue. They are the custodians of Islam and the head of Islam. But truly, I can tell you that they really represent the interests of the non-Muslims, because politicians will be quite reluctant to talk about sensitive issues. Like in the case for Johor, there were attempts to set up a laundry, which the owner put up there only for Muslims. Of course, the Sultan of Johor, then and now the King of Malaysia, when he read about this ruling, he was very upset. But he was in the position to say, stop this nonsense. Okay, he could do that because of their position as the head of state. And in my interview with Tuanku, His Royal Highness the Sultan of Selangor, which has appeared online just hours ago, where he said that, look, I think this hate, racist comments on social media should stop. Stop this nonsense. He asked, what is this type C? What is this type M? What is this kafir? What is this non-kafir? So he said this in words which are very strong, straight to the point. Politicians may not want to do that so directly. So you see that somebody at the Sultan of Selangor has been able to articulate these views and to make non-Muslims feel comfortable that there is someone there who protects you and at the same time safeguard the interests of Islam and the majority Bumi Putras in the state, and they feel at ease. So this role is fantastic.
Well, the Sultan definitely has his pulse on things, especially things that are so-called trending or happening a lot on social media. These conversations about type this and type that is something that happens by default these days if one was to go through in the comments section. Which brings me to the youth, really. How does the Sultan want to connect with the youth, because Selangor is a young and urban state. It also prioritizes technology, which we see in the many various apps that Selangor has as well. How well do you think the palace understands the mindset of today's younger Selangorians?
Okay, one, the fact that he knows what has been posted by netizens shows that he's really feels the pulse of social media.
Right.
Okay? His message today was, please think before you post your comment. Think there are consequences. So he's quite aware of what has been said and what has been posted on social media. He's very hands-on. Okay, but also that he also has the presence of His Highness the Raja Muda, who is there. He's certainly a very young man. Yes. Okay, and he's there to assist Tuanku in matters relating to youth, and that he has got his foundation, the Raja Muda Foundation, which does a lot of things for the younger people. So I think that they have a very wise and very experienced father and a young and energetic Raja Muda there for him.
Race, religion aside, young, old aside, what does the Sultan want for each of his rakyat within Selangor, if that's the focus today?
Absolutely very simple and absolutely consistent. He always say that, look, I just want my rakyat to live in harmony and respect for each other. He has said that so many times. And in the interview that I have with him, which I appeared yesterday, he says that, look, my birthday wish is very simple. Live in harmony, respect for each other, and this is what I want. That's all. So So that has always sort of like consistently been his values and practice. And just an example, we have got this book, okay? This is printed by BERNAMA. Okay.
I was just coming to that. That's the highlight of the discussion today, which really is, this book is called Estetika Taman Nurani, Masjid di Selangor. So it features some of the top, or rather the shortlisted most beautiful masjid or mosques within the state of Selangor.
Yeah, so this is our birthday gift to Tuanku on his 80th birthday. There are over 400 registered mosques in Selangor. So the job was to select 20 because 20 would nicely fit into a proper table book, okay? And the selection was done by editors in BERNAMA as well as experts and guidance from Jabatan Agama Islam Malaysia, Selangor, JAIS. So they provided the guidance, and it took 1 year. Really, I thought it was just so simple, but it took 1 year, very careful work to select 20, go through everything because heritage was important, history was important, the aesthetic value, the beauty was important. So that took into account this 20.
And we see some pictures here on screen, and this is you presenting Tuanku with the first edition or the first
book.
The first book.
It was just hot from the press, so to speak.
Hot from the press.
Hot from the press.
And
so
what was his comments on this?
Oh, he flipped through the book and posed questions on how it was selected, on what basis, you know, and that so I had to explain to him. Lucky I've read up, okay, and of course the number one on the list was the Blue Mosque, okay, and of course the last one, of course, which is quite recent, is the Chinese Muslim mosque in Klang, which is based after a similar one in Xi'an in China. Xi'an is where you find the terracotta soldiers.
Okay.
So a delegation was sent there to check it out, and they came back with this mosque.
Well, this is BERNAMA's in-house project, and it has, of course, raised eyebrows with the beauty of the mosques that it features within the book as well. Is this available for our viewers as well outside?
We have published 2,000 books. So I will leave it to the management to decide.
Okay.
But before we do that, I just want to highlight some of the certain mosques. Like for example, the Blue Mosque, or it's called Sultan Salihuddin Abdul Aziz Shah Mosque. Okay, it's the largest mosque in Malaysia. Okay, and the dome is also one of the largest in the world. So the second thing is the Masjid Raja Lumur Kuala Selangor. He was the first ruler of Selangor. I mean, all this was really a learning curve for me. I had no idea. Okay, so. It was really good. I took the trouble to learn all this. So it's all in this book. The mosque has been there since he was the first mosque. He was the first ruler in 1766. And then, of course, the Klang Chinese Muslim mosque and the Masjid Sultan Abdul Samad Mosque at KLIA. Oh, it's beautiful. We had this beautiful picture of the plane flying through above the mosque during sunset. It was beautiful. Great job by BERNAMA.
Perfect moment, yeah.
Perfect, really. Instagrammable.
Definitely Instagrammable. I must take this opportunity to now say how proud I am to have grown up in the state of Selangor. Are you a Selangor boy?
No, I'm from Penang, but this has been my home for the past 30 years.
Yes.
So talking about mosques, okay, a lot of non-Muslims, they got this fear that they should not go into the mosque. Okay, they do not know what to do. Okay, but I live in Penang, where my office then was near this Masjid Kapitan Kling. Okay. So it was really natural for everyone to just take a shortcut across the mosque. Okay? And there was this fantastic nasi kandar store next to the mosque. It's still there. It's called Nasi Kandar Beratok.
Okay.
So like, it was not something that it was fearful, unsure for us to just walk into the mosque or to go to the mosque. Okay. So that upbringing had an impact on me.
So what does that say about how things have changed in this day and age? I understand it's a little bit more modern and we're a little bit more busy from our lives and a little bit more detached from these sort of, interaction. What does the Sultan also think about the future of Malaysia?
He is very broad-minded, very optimistic, very progressive, and that he feels that as far as Selangor is concerned, so we shall confine our conversation on Selangor, right? He feels that, look, there are a lot of things that we need to do. He's a person who sometimes worries too much. Okay, he carries his weight of responsibility and weight too much. Okay, sometimes I have told him that I think you should not worry too much. Okay, let it be. Things would go on optimistically, and it will come up pretty well. You know, I trust in Malaysians completely. I really trust. It doesn't matter if demographic change, you know, and that things will come up differently. But I think the Malaysians adjust themselves very well, and the Malaysians respect each other a lot, and I think that's fantastic. Compared to other countries, I think we are very patient people. Yes, it's quite natural for people to let off steam a bit in social media, but when they meet with each other, you never see them talk like what they do in social media.
Definitely type I and type M and type
So
C.
generally, I trust in Malaysian. I believe in Malaysia, and I believe in Selangor. I really believe it, and that I also believe that one day, if the Tuanku feels that he feels that he should pass on the baton, I really think that the Raja Muda will do a fantastic job as well.
Wonderful. The Sultan himself is touching 80, and of course next year is also a very important year as he will usher in and celebrate his 25 years as a ruler. Walk us through some of the emotions that he shared with you with some of these achievements in terms of not just success as a ruler, but in that experience over the years.
During his 10th year, he made this statement that, Junwai, this is my 10th year. I asked myself, what have I done for Selangor? What have I done? So when he celebrates his Silver Jubilee next year, I think he will have that juncture where he will ask himself, in these 25 years, what have I done? What have I not done?
I see you passionate about sharing his message. I see you also perhaps a little bit emotional.
Yes, I'm very emotional now.
Yes, I can pick up on that. Yeah. Walk us through what's going on, because there is a heart and mind sort of fusion that is sparking this emotion. Is it how sincere he is as a ruler? Is it how kind and generous he's been? What is it that is making you feel a little emotional today?
One, I have to confess, I'll be very biased in my views, okay? Because of my relationship with Tuanku, and I have the chance to see him up close and personal. So the Silver Jubilee is 25 years. It's really a milestone. At 80, he's still so strong. I cannot imagine myself walking so fast like he is at 80, okay? So Silver Jubilee 25 years is a long, long time, okay? So he will reflect on what he has done. And I know that when he was doing his 10th year, I think the state government wanted to build something for him. Said, no, don't build monuments for me, please, okay? I think they did one for his father, maybe a big Chris in Klang, I don't know. He said, no, I don't want that kind of thing, okay? Get a library, get a public library to be put up. So it's just 1 month, it's just 1 month away to the 25 years. So it's going to be, I believe, a year-long celebration. I think it's still been, the events are still being put up. But I'm looking forward to that.
Well, as you have mentioned and had that exclusive interview with the Sultan himself, and as someone who's been in media for a long time, trust in in what we do here in media as well, that seems to be declining worldwide. There is the social media aspect as well, with misinformation and disinformation, fake news, all at its peak at this point of time. How does he view the trust in media, and I think vis-a-vis that also has a connection with the people or Rakyat's trust in the state rulers?
Okay, we talk about social media, the declining state of journalism, of journalists, okay, including politicians and lawyers, right? So we're in the same bad category. Well, Tuanku is 80 years old, so he's old school. I am 64. I'm old school, but trying to be new school. So we all grapple with these issues. We come from an era where news is edited, checked before it is released, before it's published. We take this very seriously. But now, a lot of people claim themselves to be reporters when they are not. They are just social media influencers, content creators. They are not journalists. So you find a lot of fake news and unchecked news going through. Everything is unfiltered and just publish.
And we shouldn't be swayed by that, which is why BERNAMA is and
Yes.
prides ourselves on being, a source of information that is trusted and verified. Datuk, we don't have much time left, but on His Royal Highness's birthday, Malaysians are listening, not just as viewers, but as rakyat as well today. What would you sincerely like to say to the Sultan?
Tuanku, we wish you good health and that happiness, and may you continue to be the ruler for a long time.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming in and sharing this message. I hope I did not make you tear earlier or make you cry. Well, that's all the time we have as Selangor celebrates and observes the state 80th birthday of the Sultan of Selangor. We are honoured to have Datuk Wong to help us really understand the man behind the throne. Well, that's all the time we have, and we will see you next time, same place. Do keep it locked on to BERNAMA TV for more focus on conversations that truly matter. See you next time.